Okay, so we live in a world that is just loud, right? It screams for our attention. We're always told that to be powerful, you have to be the loudest one in the room. But what if that's all wrong? What if the real advantage isn't in the noise you make, but in the silence you keep? Let's get into the hidden psychology of silent power.
So this is the big question, isn't it? Is being quiet a sign of weakness, or is it actually a hidden weapon? Does it mean you're submitting, or is it maybe your most strategic tool? We're going to dismantle that whole idea.
All right, first things first, we have to tackle the big myth head-on. Because to really get the power of silence, you have to understand why we get it so wrong so often.
I mean, think about it. You've seen this in meetings, at parties, even just hanging out with friends. We're basically trained to see the person who's always talking, the one who fills every single pause, as the leader. We mistake volume for confidence, and we think that having a quick reply means you're smarter. And the quiet people? Well, they just get pushed to the side.
And this is exactly where our perception just completely fails us. We look at a quiet person and our brains jump to conclusions. They must be shy or anxious. Maybe they're just not interested or they don't have any confidence. But what's actually going on under the surface, they could be observing everything, processing all the information, or, and this is the important part, they might be intentionally choosing to be detached. The reality is just so much deeper than our first guess.
So let's make the shift. This is the pivot point. This is where we stop looking at silence through that old, broken lens and start seeing it for what it really is, a genuine signal of psychological strength.
This right here is the core idea. Let me say that again. Silence isn't weakness. It's a psychological signal that you are no longer controlled by external validation. Just let that sink in for a second. Real power isn't about getting a reaction out of other people. It's about being in complete, total control of your own.
Yeah, this really sums it up perfectly. So much of the time when we're talking, it's a performance, right? We're trying to sound smart. We want to be liked. We're trying to win some argument. Silence is the choice to just step off that stage. It's moving away from that need to prove something and just being powerfully present and in command of yourself.
So how do you actually do that? How do you get that self-command? Well, the first big psychological tool is something called the detachment response. And trust me, this is where you find some real freedom.
Let's be really clear about what this is. It's an intentional choice. This is not about being cold or distant. It's a conscious decision to unhook yourself from that emotional roller coaster of needing people to agree with you or to like you or to even notice you. And the result? You gain this incredible self-possession and mental clarity. You're not just reacting anymore, you're acting from a place of real stability.
And the best part is, this is a skill you can actually build. It's pretty simple, really. Step 1, just notice it. Recognize that little itch, that urge to jump in and get someone's approval. Step 2, instead of reacting, just pause. That's it. Take a breath. And then step 3, in that little space you've created, you consciously choose silence. Not because you're weak, but as your chosen position of strength.
Okay, so once you start practicing that detachment, it unlocks another incredible advantage. I'm talking about observational intelligence. And honestly, it's kind of a superpower.
Think about how much mental energy it takes to constantly be thinking about what you're going to say next. It just eats up all your bandwidth. When you let go of that, when you release yourself from that job, all that brain power is suddenly free. You stop planning your own performance, and you can finally start watching the real show that's happening right in front of you.
And what do you start to see? Oh, you see everything that everybody else misses. You see the tiny flicker of hesitation in someone's eyes. You notice who looks at who for approval right after they speak, which, by the way, tells you where the real power is in the room. You can feel the unspoken tensions. You can spot the real agreements that are hiding under all the talk. You see the patterns, not just the random noise.
So let's bring this all home, because this isn't just some interesting psychological theory. This is about a real, untapped power that you can start using right now.
If you only take one thing away from all of this, let it be this. Stop thinking of your silence as an absence. It is not an empty void that you desperately need to fill. It's not. It's an active, powerful space. It's the space where you observe, where you reflect, and where you build your own internal power.
So I'm going to leave you with a question to chew on. The next time you're in a meeting or just a conversation and you feel that pressure building to say something, anything, just try choosing quiet instead. See what happens. What do you notice? What do you learn? And what kind of power will you find in your silence?